Let's talk about Arkhangelsk. This is the fourth-generation nuclear attack submarine. It is one of Russia's most lethal subs, and now it has been deployed in the Arctic, the northernmost region of the Earth. But Moscow is hardly alone here. Nation after nation, your NATO members, the US, China, they are all militarizing the Arctic at a rapid pace, because this white wonderland is melting. Its ice is depleting rapidly thanks to climate change, and this is heating the planet even faster. But when most world leaders look at the thawing Arctic ice, they see the seemingly infinite economic and political influence. So while nations are tussling to win the Arctic race, there is only one loser in this game, the Arctic. Our next report tells you why.
Which region poses the biggest foreign policy challenges? If we were to ask you this question today, you may say China, Russia, or Israel. But soon, your answer will most likely be the Arctic. The northernmost region of the Earth. It covers a vast area of about 16 million square kilometers. It's home to polar bears, seals, and walruses, but increasingly, it's also becoming home to intense militarization. Over the past year, members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, have held war games in the Arctic. This included amphibious assaults in frigid areas. This was followed by a Russian drill, where nuclear submarines practiced firing cruise missiles near the NATO members Finland, Norway, and Sweden. And now, not even a month into the new year, Russia has permanently deployed Arkhangelsk with its northern fleet in the region. And this is a major step towards militarization by the country. Because you see, Arkhangelsk is one of Moscow's most powerful submarines. It's a fourth-generation nuclear-powered attack sub. It carries an array of seaborne weapons. This gives it the capability to strike both sea and land-based targets. And the submarine's deployment is another sign of the turbocharged weaponization of the Arctic, which is concerning news. You already know that the world is heating thanks to climate change. But did you know that the Arctic is warming nearly 4 times as fast as the rest of the planet? Its sea ice is declining by more than 12% every decade. That's about 80,000 square kilometers of ice. Roughly the same size as Austria or the Czech Republic. That's how much ice the Arctic is losing every decade. In fact, according to recent reports, the Arctic will have its first ice-free day in the year 2027. This is unprecedented. So, this white wonderland is turning blue, and it's fueling a vicious cycle. Let us explain. Ice reflects sunlight into space. It acts as a great heat shield for the Earth. But 90% of the old Arctic ice is gone, and the new ice is depleting rapidly. So now there is more ocean, which doesn't reflect sunlight. Instead, it absorbs the heat. This has created a spiral of heating. A melting Arctic is making the region's ice melt even faster. And this is speeding up global warming for the entire world. This means worse climate disasters, habitats vanishing faster, and an ecosystem rendered even more fragile. But we know that when world leaders look at the melting Arctic, they rarely see this myriad of climate problems. Instead, they see new shipping routes opening up, new opportunities to militarize the region, rare minerals that can be mined, and seemingly infinite economic potential. Now, this tussle for the Arctic is brewing geopolitical tensions. The likes of Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden are holding drills there. Russia and China are flying bombers there. The US and Canada are buying more icebreakers to police the region. Basically, nations are jockeying for political influence in the Arctic and knowingly intensifying the perils of climate change. They are polluting the region, emitting greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which is 84 times stronger than carbon dioxide, thawing the permafrost, unleashing the dangers of unknown bacteria and viruses. All because when politicians look at the Arctic, they see hidden treasures, more power, more influence, more money, and not a calamity waiting to happen at the top of the world.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office, Prime Minister Modi. Divyan,
we were actually
how are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.